This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we welcome you into 2025 by going through some fitness predictions. I don't know which website we're going to be. And 3, 2, 1, it's 2025.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast. To myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
I'm all good. I feel like it's been a while.
It has been a
Has it been a
while, to be
while?
fair. I feel like because of where Christmas fell, it was like exactly on because it was Wednesdays, wasn't it? We didn't do one Christmas Eve and we didn't do one New Year's Eve. So
Of course.
I think we've been out for at least 2 weeks. So yeah, apologies, guys. Who'd have thought we'd be doing this? How old is Bell? 9 years.
9, mate. It's long, isn't it? Long time. I still sound a little bit ill as well, by the way. Can you hear
You
it? It's
do, I
raising in my
know. Yeah,
voice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really annoying. Like, I feel like it's lasted too long now. I feel like, do you
I think
know?
it's the Dubai plague. That's what it is.
Must be. Well, I know I got it from the UK, didn't I?
Oh
Got it
yeah,
from fucking UK, mate, when I came back, and then brought it back here. And now I've infected everyone in Dubai with it. So
exactly. It's
that's all
strong,
good. But yeah, no,
strong.
I had a good Christmas break. It was enjoyable, recharged, played too much golf, got worse at golf. So yeah, that was all good fun, mate. You know, it's just as we were saying before we hit record, it's over here, it's definitely a lot more, sorry, a lot less focused on food and just eating shitloads of food because the weather's decent and you can do stuff. Whereas in the UK, it's just like everything's focused on food because you just stay in, you meet up with people, and it's all based around food and snacks and meeting up around food and drinks and all that sort of jazz. So it's kind of nice to not have that kind of overly indulged thing. I actually lost weight over the Christmas period.
Look, you know.
Just not, yeah, not feel like I've like, feel shit. A lot of people just don't feel great, do they, in January? So yeah, just rub it in, just saying how cold it is for you guys. But yeah. How about you, mate? You've been fucking on more planes in fucking about 2 week period than I've been on in the whole year, I think, last year.
I know.
All over
I
the place.
literally like one of the lads at work today. He was like, "Oh, you went away, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I was like, "I was in Boston," and he was like, "You travel a lot," and I
Yeah.
was
I think
like,
it's just more recently you have.
I don't feel like I do. But then I counted up. So my 2024, obviously I went to Boston, I went to Miami, but from Miami via like it's via Miami to Honduras. I stayed a night there, right?
Mm.
I went to Hamburg, so Germany. I went to France, and I went to Dubai. So I went to 6 different places in theory.
Yeah.
Think is that a lot? It feels like a lot. It feels like
I
a
think it's a lot. I just think that up to that point, you probably weren't a big traveler. So I think whenever you travel, I'm always like, oh, where's Tom going? What's Tom doing?
Yeah, like I think
Um,
definitely in the last 2 years, I know I've traveled more because I think I counted up the year before because I came to Dubai twice and then I think I went to Spain twice and I might have gone somewhere else as well. And I was like, all right, this is 4 or 5 times a year feels
mm,
like every other month feels like a bit of a travel, right? But I think people in perspective, big perspective here. I'm very lucky to have some wonderful friends and stuff who let me come and fucking stay. So for you, for example, obviously when I come out, it's like, oh, I pay for a lot of stuff because it's like, okay, Dan's let me stay in his house. And then in
yeah,
Hamburg, we went and stayed with Chloe's friends. In Boston, we were staying with Chloe's sister-in-law's in-law, like parents. So it's
mm,
like all these kind of things. The only accommodation that I've directly paid for was like France. Where else did I go? Honduras. We're with Chloe's like family and stuff. So yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it? Like obviously that is a big thing in terms of that. Obviously, I have to pay for flights and stuff like that. But
yeah.
yeah, and I only did business to you, Dan, because I was like, I need some luxury now because I'm going to be tormented by you for about a week.
That's how serious the golf competition is. You need to be well rested. So
And
that's
also
good.
that was because that was where my miles were. So
I
I was like, fuck this.
bet.
Well, it was so expensive going to Boston. Like economy ticket to Boston with shitty fucking American was almost just under a grand. Like
Well,
business, yeah. Like it was, I think it was 4.5 to 5 grand. Like to
each way.
Boston, I think that was total. I know it might have been each way. It might have been each way. I feel like maybe total I could get it for like 7.5.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Like considering like Boston on the way back's a 5.5, 550 like trip. On the way
I
there,
didn't
it's like
realize it was closer than
6.
here.
Oh yeah, it's closer than here. than to Dubai. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's not that far away because you just ride. Like coming back is 5 hours 50, pretty much on the nose. Going there is like 6 hours 50. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
I think, I
So
mean,
it's
air travel is only going to get more expensive, right? It's just more and more. Like,
yeah.
it's always going to be one of the things that gets hit with taxes and all this shit about the fucking climate and fucking all that crap that people are
Mm.
claiming is an issue. Yeah, it's just it's always going to be taxed to fuck with it,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, it's insane, insane. But yeah, it was fun. Went to Boston. Um, this is yeah, my issue with America is they're very self-confident, um, which I guess
Mm.
is a an issue as a humble British person who obviously we're quite self-deprecating in terms of what we do, and they're incredibly confident about what they do in every like instance. It's hard. I feel it's hard to like.
Well,
I'm just
I
like,
think a lot of it is because
mm,
they don't know much about the outside world. Like I saw a
yeah,
thing the other
right.
day. I saw a thing the other day around like it was like Texas and it was the size of Texas but overlaid over Europe. And I looked at it and I went, fucking hell, I didn't
Yeah,
even, because you just don't think like that. You know, it's big, right?
yeah,
When you look at it and go, hang on a minute, like that's like UK to Ukraine, it was wide.
yeah,
And it was like covered the whole length of Europe. And it kind of puts it in perspective sometimes when you think about flying to Italy, for example, and you go, oh, that's like, all the way over there, loads of different cultures. When in Texas, you kind of think, how many people are there in Texas that you go, they could have different cultures within a fucking state. And like, because I was kind of a conversation with someone the other day about, actually, I don't know how it came up, but about American taxes. And I was like, isn't it really weird they have state taxes over there? And they were like, well, no, not really, seeing as each state is like 5 times the size of some countries in Europe. I was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, like of course it makes sense to kind of do it like I don't know, just like when you think about it like that, it makes a lot of sense. And that's why I think a lot of them are so Americans as a culture are so self-confident because they just don't experience all the other stuff that goes on in the world. So they
Uh,
do think they're the best food. They do think their food's the best. It's like, nah, just 'cause it's fried and got cheese on, don't make it the best, mate. Like, let's be real. So yeah, just funny how they think that their stuff's always the best from that point of view. I find it strange.
like there's some odd rules in Boston as well. So obviously Boston, big college town, right? Because Harvard, I
Mm.
think Berkeley's there. It's like super intelligent fuckers. And so you're not allowed to use your like British driving license or any kind of old driving license as an ID. You
Oh, really?
have to use your passport because there's so many people getting like there's so many internationals getting like fake IDs of like I know I'm from Guatemala, I'm from this place,
Right.
I'm from yeah Sudan, and like yeah they're like don't know how to tell whether this is fake or not. But I was like it's a British ID, like fuck's sake. I was like okay, it's fine, should be fine.
Mm.
So that's an interesting one. Also, in all of their alcohol stores or whatever, and buying alcohol. So I went and saw the Bruins, right? So every single person, you know how in normal kind of vaguely intelligent places, not we're not intelligent, but it's a fairly good rule. You
Mm.
leave it up to the person that's selling the alcohol. We have something, obviously, is it challenge 21 or challenge 25? If you look
Yeah,
underneath,
whatever.
they'll
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you for an ID. Cool. They have it for every single person. I'm with this lad, Scott, who's the part of family, right? He's 60 years old. Still had to show his ID to buy alcohol and would be declined the alcohol if he didn't have his ID.
Wow.
He's over 21, trust me. Like
It's
he looks
crazy, isn't it?
I was like, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Because I literally got to the front of the queue, like the Bruins game, and he was like ID, and I was like, I don't get often asked for ID because I was quick at the draw. I was like, yeah, there we go. He was like, yeah, I can't accept that. I was like, I'm 34. I think I'm over your 21. Like, look at me. I'm like, got a big old beard, and he was like, no, because it's. He was a bit hard. He didn't word it as nicely as this. It's because it's a British ID. You need to go see that man who's going to give you a wristband so you can double check that it's real. And I was like, all right, fine. Thanks for not telling me that at the front gate. All right, it's fine.
Good to know, isn't it?
Yeah, good to know. But I think that's a Boston rule. I think it's just because it's a university town. So
Mm.
yeah, a bit weird. But yeah, it was fun. Very fun. Snowy. Saw some snow. I like snow at Christmas. So a bit different. Obviously, you didn't probably don't have any snow.
Mm.
But for certain,
Bit of rain,
bit of rain,
tiny bit of rain. Yeah.
bit of cloud seeding. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, like yeah, England was fairly dull. Southend United won 4-0, so that was good. That was a good Boxing Day. Very
What,
traditional
one of the
Boxing Day.
games? How many games did they?
What?
How many games did they win?
Well, I only saw them for one game, and then they won
What were
4
the
nil.
other games?
They
Over the Christmas
won.
period, what else happened? Did they win any of
They
the games, Tom?
they won another game against Braintree Town, and then
Big game, that. The
they won
local
another
derby.
they won another game against Southport in the FA Trophy. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, you know what I have done
Mm,
though, Dan? You don't know this. I bought my dad and his bro, so my uncle, and then this other lad who goes to Southend. They've all got season tickets. It's all quite funny. They're all between like the ages of 70 and 80. They're all like old men, like waddling down or whatever. They're not fat, just they're just old. They can't walk very fast. But I bought them executive box tickets for the match in
nice.
against Barnet. So I'm
Well, that
going
costs
as
you like 20
well.
quid a person.
So cheap.
South End, surely. Yeah.
It was so cheap. I was like, how have we not done this before? It's 90,
Yeah.
90 quid a person. I was like, I'll buy four. It's great.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll do it. So I'll come. You get a free, like, for that value of time, you have to get there at 1 o'clock. Like, you meet some people, then you have like a three course meal. You have a drink on arrival, and you have another drink before, and then like you get tea and biscuits and stuff in half time, then another drink afterwards. And then obviously you get to
Amazing.
watch the game, you get the program, and you watch it from the exec like bit. I was like, that's pretty good value, I thought. Like for time spent and the
Spot
amount of
on.
stuff you get, like 90 quid. And I get to watch Southend Barnet. Legends. We're gonna
So
get
hell they are.
spanked because Barnet are pretty good. So um but yeah.
They do, yeah.
That,
Barnet, I mean, Barnet, we all know how good Barnet are, Tom. You know, everyone knows how good they are. So, yeah.
so yeah, that'd be fun on the 18th. I'm looking forward to that. Be good fun. Yeah. I bet I just don't know what like the food will be like. It will be so traditional, won't it? It'll be like prawn cocktail, fish and chips, and a pie,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say, it's going to be something like a pie in it. Just, I'd be happy with that. To be fair, I'd
Yeah,
be happy with that.
to be
Take
fair,
it
I'm
all day long.
like considering the ticket for the game normally is like 20, 25 quid, like in any
Mm.
stand, like we're getting like decent seats. So that's all right. So
Take it all day
that's
long.
all right. Yeah, other than that, good break. Good break. Shut off totally from actually I was working up until literally that's how adulthood changes, right? I'd literally work until 7, 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. That's
Yeah,
that's something I wouldn't normally have done as a I don't know, someone who's in a normal job. Uh,
that is a bit of a
all
change. That is a bit of a change, isn't it? Right? Because I think with when you're in school, it's like you break up from school. It's like
Yeah,
fucking
right.
boom, 19th. Woo! You know, you love it. Yeah, that's the one thing I would say that it
And
does
I
change.
feel like how it was like for everybody, most of my friends and stuff, all my sisters and stuff, like because they're all in salary. Actually, my other sister owns a veterinary practice, so it's like okay, differently, but like other salary positions, they're like, yeah, I'm off from Monday, like throughout the whole week, and it's like, yeah, it's great. And I was like, oh, I've still got work, like
Yeah,
I can't not because I knew I was away until yesterday. I
yeah,
was
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
pick up everything. It's just like, all right, making sure nobody cries. So we're all good though. We're all
as long as you
good.
didn't cry.
Yeah. All right. So today, I believe, just do a nice little. Whilst Dan yawns, it's late there, isn't it?
It's a long day as well. To be fair, first
Long
week
day
back.
today. First week back is yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, one to obviously you know Marylebone. First week back in Marylebone is not always very busy.
no,
No, people are still scraggling their way back into life, aren't they?
yeah. There's no rush there, is there? There's no mad
There's
rush
no,
in Marylebone.
no, which is weird, isn't it? It's just like, all right, people are still back to work, but they're like, start gym next week, Tom. It's fine. I've still got to
I
get
had that.
back.
I'd play golf. When did we play? We played Friday it was, and there was a guy who was visiting here, and we obviously get chatting as you do on the golf course. And he was like, he worked in like private equity back in London, and he was like, yeah, I'm off for another 4 or 5 days. And I was like, yeah, I bet you are. Do you know when you're like, yeah, you ain't got nothing to do, have you? Like
Yeah.
till like middle of Jan, you ain't gonna worry about anything. It was just quite funny how it is that sort of vibe, isn't it, with London? It's like, oh, we'll just ease our
It's
way back in January.
all the guys with kids are back. All the guys without kids still fucked up. They're
Yeah,
gone. They're see you later. Yeah, they're just like
100%.
scraggling back. It's quite funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we still got that. So other than that, online's obviously like I've checked in with everybody on Monday to make sure they're all still alive. So they all were. Look at that. They can survive 2 weeks without. do that more often.
Bonus.
Like they're all
Absolute bonus.
alive, all training, and yeah, I didn't need to speak to them for 2 weeks. I mean, I might do this into a monthly thing. Yeah, interesting. That'd be the dream, wouldn't it? No, obviously we like talking to everybody. But everybody's doing all right. Doing all right. Do a little client wrapped over the next. I did 21. I'm doing 21 clients from 2024 and their
It's a lot.
stories. It's a lot in it. I feel like
Yeah.
I'll speak to Mike and he'll be like, spread it out, mate. That's far too many for that one. Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought about doing a little bit of a thing over the Christmas period, like, people over 2024 have done well. And I posted one or two and then I just thought, I can't bother to do this every day. Like,
I
honestly, I was like, I can't be asked.
know. But yeah, you'll notice that I'm going to be reusing like reels I
Yeah.
sent out like 9 months ago. Like I'm not changing that. Nothing. They're still training with me. They're still their story. But obviously, I've just added like 5 or 6 more. But scattering more to highlight some of the. I got some people who did my free shit who have come back with good stuff. So I was like, fuck it, let me just do from every avenue. Just like you guys with
Perfect.
the members group, right? So like
Literally.
those guys have still got good results and they're paying next to fucking peanuts. So
There you go. Plug for the
you,
members group. If you need
I
help this
know,
year
there
for
you go. No,
2025 with online coaching, get in the members group, £99 a month, and you get actual results from actual coaches.
nah,
There you go.
bullshit,
Get stuck in.
bullshit. Save your money, like save your 20 quid, and then come on the combine. You actually train and get look jacked and shit.
Yeah,
So
I
and
do that as well if
then
I was you, to be fair.
your quality of your content, and well, because you can train, you've got a story, and then you're fine.
I do
Or
that
you
as well. I do
can,
that,
or
yeah.
you can listen to a bold man. It's fine.
Or do both,
Do
and it's
both.
still really not that expensive in the grand scheme of
It's
things for the amount of
still
help you get.
still
So
cheaper than one-to-one coaching with most people.
literally, it is, yeah, literally. So yeah, there
Mental.
you
All
go.
right, we're going to do a predictions episode. So what I
Ooh.
have, I think we normally do this. I haven't got our predictions from last year up. Is what I should get up. I wonder if it's on
Hmm.
surely it's on my notes, or I feel like we might have done this because this is my first thing that what I did, what I did. Um, I'm
Hmm.
not too sure what the predictions. Yeah, I don't think I think this is I think we did this instead. I've Googled 2025 fitness, health and fitness predictions, and then we'll just go through what some other bullshit. They can do the legwork basically, but we'll
Okay.
pick a large platform of some sort. And then yeah, because I think on my notes is where we normally write stuff. We normally write stuff. I normally write stuff.
Hmm.
And I can't, I've typed in predictions. It's normally what I'd label it 2024 predictions.
It's a good
Nothing's,
title, self-explanatory.
yeah, nothing's coming up, mate. So we've got a choice. So I've quickly clicked on free. Um, Actually, there's another one that we might be able to use as well. Where was it? Mm, there we
Lost
go.
it. He's lost it.
No, no, no,
You
no, no, I
can't
haven't
find
lost
it
it.
anywhere.
I haven't lost it. I've got a funny feeling it might be. I don't think it was. So I'm looking at Cosmopolitan magazine,
Oh God.
but it's really badly laid out. Like it's not a good article. I can
Well,
see,
because it's for females, isn't it? It's how it's supposed to be written for females. The brain's all over the place.
it's not a list. I don't like that you've written a list wellness trends for 2025 and you haven't listed it. That's what's annoying me. There's stuff
Yeah.
in bold, so I can skim read it pretty quickly. So we got a choice: Cosmopolitan magazine. So we could do one from each. Then we got
Fine.
men editors predict 7 fitness trends to watch out for in 2025. Men's
Okay.
Health, that well-published academic journal. Then
Yeah.
we've got Trust Us. These 14 wellness trends will dominate in 2025. Marie Claire. I think that's going to be
Another female
that's
nice one.
that's a female magazine. And then I've
Mhm.
gone this random one that I clicked on that I don't know what it is. Dr. Axe, Wellness Trends 2025, co-founder of Ancient Nutrition.
Yeah,
Uh,
sweet little shit.
Wellness Trends 2025, personalized health takes center stage. Which ones are we going to do, Dan? Which one should we do?
Let's get the more mainstream ones, I think.
So we'll get rid of the Axe one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're 18, 20 minutes in, I think we're at. So we could do hopefully do 10. If we've got enough time, we'll do two. If we haven't, we'll do one, and you guys can suck it. No, can't believe
Yeah.
I can tell the listeners to suck it. Great idea. Great.
They'll just turn off, mate, at that point. Nice.
It's fine. They're like, we switched off already, Tom. Didn't want to hear about everything like that.
Not interested.
It's fine. Not interested in Dan's golfing. Dan's got worse at golf by playing more.
Uh,
That's what happens with work and lifting and business. Do it more, you get worse.
do it too much. Yeah.
Need to find some time for it to settle. All right,
Mm.
let's make you smaller. I think that's good for my screen. All right, and make this larger. Stacked now. Look at that, stacked. All right, where are we going? Men's health
Yeah.
or Marie
Start with the
Claire?
worst. Start with the worst.
Well,
Men's health.
to be fair, the men's health one, shock, is the best written. Actually, no, the Marie Claire one's nicely done as well. That's so we'll do those two because Cosmo, what you're doing, Cosmopolitan, buck your ideas up and make sure if
Yeah.
you've written a list about something, write the fucking list. Don't let the reader have to work for it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Jesus. All right, men's health. Editors predict 7 fitness trends to watch out for in 2025. I'll be interested to see if I know any of these people. In my heyday, Dan, I did.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you would have written for Men's Health at some point. I certainly
I
did.
have, mate. I've still got the
Yeah,
magazine somewhere.
I've been mine.
I've got a couple. I think I've got another one. I think there's another magazine I wrote for that I didn't know. Was it Women's Health, maybe?
Maybe.
Mate, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. It might be right.
I reckon. I'm pretty sure it's that framed one that you've got pinned up on your wall. Uh,
No, it's not there. No, it's definitely hidden somewhere. I do have it. I just need to find it. I'll tell you exactly what it was.
I can only remember one of my articles because it's the first one. So I wrote a fair few, but I know that I wrote one about plyometrics, and
Mm.
all I can remember is the worst picture or like diagram of a box jump that I've seen in my life. Um, the model they used clearly didn't know how to box jump, and I was like, brilliant, thanks. Um, Puts me in good stead. But anyway, whilst Dan's working that out, so yes,
It's
predict
not immediately
7.
available to me, so I'm not going to try and
What
hunt
are you
for
talking
it.
about? You get it out every week.
Yeah, I know. I usually reference it all the time.
You normally just
Always
read
talk
it,
about
don't
it,
you?
don't I?
You're like, oh, this is so good. Well, we won't cover models, so
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's for damn sure.
Jump to, all right, what's cool in fitness? Always changing, especially when people love to make new resolutions and start new habits each year. Or centerpiece of physical culture like strength training, cardio, and mobility are cornerstones of which ways we exercise. We approach those forms, blah, 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 blah. Like strict, let's go straight to number one. Ebenezer Samuel. That's a cool name. Having
What's
that.
that?
That's a cool name, isn't it? Right. If anybody, we can as we go through this because it's a game that I like from Richard Osman. Is would you put that as in a murder mystery book? Ebenezer Samuel. I think you would. That's a pretty good name for a book. No,
Yeah.
for a character in a book. But he is CSCS, so that's pretty cool. So you should know what he's talking about. Fitness
Mhm.
director Ebenezer Samuel. His first one is Training Diversifies. This will be the year when fitness discipline. I'll give you the article because otherwise I'm just going to be reading to you the whole time. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Where's the chat?
Mm. I've got a
Could
feeling that these are going to annoy me.
could have put that in the chat before the show, but no, ruin the suspense. This will be the outlier. People are starting to understand that hybrid training isn't an outlier. It's the best way for you to train.
Mm. Shock horror.
uh,
Who knew that actually a multidisciplinary approach and being good at several things would be best for your health rather than being extreme.
Fitness world is slowly but surely beginning to understand that. Yeah, but within hybrid training, people still just want to do the extremes of, no?
Yeah,
They want to
literally.
be like the person who runs the 100K race, but also will deadlift 300 kilos
Yeah, they're like the
on the
morons
same day.
that do like mini triathlons and shit like that. They're the morons that do that shit when they
Mini
know they've done it before.
triathlons. Yeah.
That's what he's calling it,
Okay.
mini one.
Yeah, sure. Mate, wait until the 21st athlete that I'll be reviewing. Hint, looking at him.
Mm,
I know. I just couldn't bother. I was like, 20's enough about talking about other people. I need to talk about
yeah.
myself. Yeah, hybrid training essentially is going to become more popular again, and I guess that's a diversification, mixed modal shit. We giving him a thumbs up or thumbs down? Is that going to grow?
I mean, I don't think that's a.
It's a bit of a
I
cop
mean,
out, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Exactly. It's like okay, like, but it's yeah. Of course, it's going to grow because it's growing now. Like, yeah.
Mm.
All right. To be fair, all of these are a little bit like.
Yeah, that's the thing with men's health, isn't it? It's very they play safe.
Well, there's the
Compet
nutrition one. The nutrition one is fucking bang off for a start. So tell you that. I'll
Yeah, I
give you
know.
that one.
Right, next one.
Competition will rise. Racing and other events will be a big focus for fitness in 2025. They've never not been though.
I disagree. I think it is definitely bigger now.
Well, High Rocks is the only one though, isn't it? It's the new
High
one.
rocks is the
Like,
thing. Yeah, yeah.
but people have always done marathons and triathlons and events.
But I
I
think
know, I know it's like I know it's like more of the experience, and that's what this guy's saying is like people will start to do one for the first time.
yeah. I think like park runs and marathons are their most popular ever. So I think that's just
Mm.
running because people don't have any money because the economy's shot. So they end up going running for far less. Yeah.
Do you know what I think a lot of it is? I think a lot of it with that sort of stuff is that people are so their discipline is so poor and people's desire to do stuff for themselves is so bad that they need the accountability more and more. Like, people talk about accountability being important. I feel like
Yeah.
these days, people need accountability to do real basic shit. They're just lazy. People are just lazier and lazier and lazier because of the way the world is and how it's designed and done. Is that people like need someone to check up on them on doing the most basic task. And I think that's the reason why these things, people just go, oh, I'm just not motivated, oh, I just can't be bothered.
Mm.
Whereas people used to run for being healthier, wanting to prove their own times, to beat their own stuff, to beat themselves, to compare themselves to themselves. And now it's not enough that. It has to be, I've got to sign up for an event, otherwise I won't do it. I have to do that, otherwise I won't do it. That's what I think's happening with it. I
Damn,
don't think it's the competition will rise. I think it's just that people fucking need something to fucking do.
just why are you having to go at my whole business model?
I'm having to go with you, Tom. People like you.
My business model is train for fucking something. Sign up for that event. Go do that thing, and I will help you. But yeah, that's why. Gives it's the
Yeah.
accountability thing. But we noticed the trend a while ago when me and Luke were obviously doing the PTC. Obviously, you guys have flexed into that massively. And you noticed it when you did your playbook, no?
Mm.
You had your playbook course, didn't sell as well as you wanted it to. And then we had the same thing with our courses. We noticed that when we had a cohort that we went through stuff with, they got way more excited. We could charge more for it. It was a premium product, but it was the do-it-yourself product against the done with you product or done for you product. And
Yeah.
people would rather pay more for the done with you, done for you than do it themselves at the fucking minimal cost. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's absolutely mental. Like, I've noticed it with like, so I signed up for like Simon Mitchell. Is he the
Yeah.
marketer man? But so I
Yeah.
got his like 30-minute marketer thing. And literally he like put it really like gospel. So I'm okay with doing something by myself. And like I bought it for
Yeah.
like fucking 50 quid, all of it. And he was like, yeah, you can do it yourself, or you can actually sign up for like my one-to-one shit or this other stuff. And it's like hundreds and hundreds. And I'm just like, I'm gonna do it myself. If that's
Yeah.
those are the videos you're going to be using, I'm gonna have a go.
Because you
I
can,
don't.
literally.
Yeah, I'll just because I'll quite happily just sit there when I'm doing my cardio and watch it. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I guess it's the takeaways. It's what people need and what they want. It's like, yeah, it's fine. I still need people to bounce off ideas. It's unfortunately why I have to speak to you. Right, next one. So we give them that a tick, competition wise. That like, meh. Is it going to rise anymore, or is it
Maybe.
going
I
to
don't know.
stagnate? It will kind of plateau for a year.
I just think it's like the thing people are doing. I think it will after this year stagnate. I think it won't. You won't see a huge growth in it. Depends how big they try and grow it.
But it's an
I
interesting
just
thing,
think
isn't it?
that always
Like
off the
with
back of High Rocks, you're going to see like more try and do the same thing. Like you've seen that is it Athex or
Afflex,
Afflex?
yeah,
Yeah.
Afflex.
there's always
affects.
going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
that element of like spin-offs that think try and make more money off it, and then that's when it dies a little bit.
I want to do a similar thing, right? Athletic based population, but I think it will just hopefully mine will have a place within the PT community and like maybe athletic community. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a bit more niched. It will be everybody, but we'll be able to use the data a little bit more.
yeah.
Right, the next one. Wearables get deep. I guess
I think
this
this
is
is always going
more
to be something that's going to grow, though, right? It's always
all
going
it
to be.
just has to because it's like
Yeah,
the car from 10 years ago is so much better than the one that is now.
yeah,
Like we can see it if we want to use an example, which we're obviously going to use driver technology. The drivers now hit the ball better,
yeah,
further, more accurate than the ones they did 10 years ago. And
yeah,
wearables, I think it's like the iPhone, right? It's like you don't notice the difference between year to year. You notice the difference from 5 years ago. Like
yeah,
that's where wearables are, right? So I'm of the
yeah.
opinion I've still got my iPhone 13 Pro Max thing, and I think I
So
can
batteries
still
still
get.
work on it. Okay.
Hey, it's fucking still good. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
crazy.
Right.
But I don't think the jump until the jump gets really noticeable, and I feel like it's dying. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Um,
There you
I think
go.
we were just talking about it with cars, right? Like, I'm buying a new car tomorrow, but I'm going to buy a used car, like a 1 year old car. But both me and Dan are the same thing. We'll buy a decent car, then we keep it and run it into the ground for 8 to 10 years because I don't think the tech's going to
Yeah.
jump that massively ahead. It's fine. Uh,
Correct.
Financially, it seems the same thing. So I think wearables is the same thing. Um, this one's got like glucose monitors. I'm still iffy on
Mm,
that.
yeah, I don't think. I think people might try it, but I don't think it's gonna ever go anywhere,
Hmm.
right?
So yeah, and I guess like Whoop is still there. Like the
Yeah.
obviously that guy's a fucking billionaire, but a lot of that is Whoop, and obviously I've used it and I still have mine. I don't know whether they're losing subscribers because the the price. Obviously, I signed up for it maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
The price that they offered me to start again in January was about 30% less than like what I originally paid back then.
Mm.
It felt in terms of a sales tactic a little bit low for what it was, unless they're just trying to go mass and get more people on it. I don't know. It was
Interesting.
interesting. It was interesting, yeah. Because I noticed it. I was like, it was enough of a drop off for me to double check it and go, that was weird. Like I paid more than that for when I first went in, and I was a brand new customer. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, interesting. Right, next one.
AI gets smarter. What a fucking shit show. Whether you deem it good or bad, AI is going to become a main player in fitness. Wearable companies like we've already incorporated into their products, way to extend their offerings, assist users, blah, blah, blah. AI still has a lot of learning about training, but with a little more advancement, it can provide much needed. Yeah, again, I think it will. I think it's going to be again data mining, working things out for people. But again, like come back to it with the wearable stuff. Is like there's also part of it that does have a bit of a limit where you go, okay, but if my aura ring tells me I slept badly, but I actually feel okay, why would I listen to it? Like, why do I want to listen to that? And I don't think it's sometimes always as helpful as people think it is with that sort of stuff. So again, with the AI, it's like, okay, well, how much further are we going to take certain things? Um, I don't think AI is going to be able to motivate people. For example, I don't think you can have the same accountability knowing it's a machine versus
Yeah,
another human being. Um, I don't think anyone's going to mind letting down AI or letting down a wearable like that. Whereas a PT, you let someone down, you kind of feel more indebted to that person for doing it. So yeah, it might get smarter. It might be able to help with more stuff with the wearable stuff, but I just can't see it ever replacing experienced, knowledgeable trainers because I just think it's the accountability that's a huge part of that. I don't think PTs are being replaced by AI. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like an app. I just think if that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. Um, yeah, I don't. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it's going to get smart, but I just don't think it's going to. It says here, for example, it could provide much needed accessibility education to those who can't afford a qualified personal trainer. It's like, well, that's already available online, though, all the information and
yeah,
education stuff. All the AI is going to do is take it from there and go, here it is. So it's like, well, if you haven't found it at this point, does having it more accessible on your fingertips on a phone, for example, or wearable, make you do the exercise? I don't think it does. It might
no,
providing more information, but you go, okay, well, who's to say the AI is right or where it's got the information from is right? And we've seen it on Instagram where like the more extreme views that AI, I would argue, would debunk are the ones that go big. Like you got Eddie Abu, you got Carnivore. It's like no, AI is gonna go, no, it's stupid. Don't do that. Because AI's fucking got more brains than Eddie Abu and fucking Carnivore can, right? But it's the extreme nature of it that sells, and it's the human behind it that sells the product. So I don't know if it's going to help from that point of view, because we know that humans seem to be attracted to the more extreme, the more fucking weird shit like that, which AI is going to immediately go, no, that doesn't work. No, that's a waste of time. Because AI is going to basically go, all you need to do is be in a calorie deficit. In fact, in fact, if I go on ChatGPT now, I bet you every single person here listening to this now would be able to tell me what it's going to say. What are the 5 core things I need to do to lose weight? Right. I'm not psyched it. I'm not
I'm gonna
presenting it, right?
go
It's going to
five
be
things: calorie deficit,
calorie deficit, right? Increase your
raise
expenditure,
raise activity of neat or something like that.
increase your expenditure, eat high protein, include some resistance training, right? And probably eat at least 5 portions of fruit and veg. That's what I'm going to go as a 5. I'm going to, right. Losing weight effectively and sustainably typically involves a combination of strategies that address both your lifestyle and mindset. Number one, create calorie deficit. Number two, eat a balanced, nutrient dense diet, high in protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, fiber. Three, engage in regular physical activity, a variety of cardio, strength training, consistency. Four, manage stress and sleep well. How to do it? Sleep,
Clever.
aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I've heard that before. Five, be consistent and patient. Now, you're telling me that I don't see that all day, every day on Instagram. Who just say that all the time? No one listens. So that's my point with it is I just don't think that um and then I'm gonna put okay, if I could only focus on 3, what would you pick? Right?
Just right. I'm a lazy cunt. I don't want to do these, but it still works.
Yeah. Literally, that's what I love it for. So like, okay, if I could only focus on 3 of those, which would you pick? Create calorie deficit,
That was it.
eat a balanced nutrient dense diet, engage in regular physical activity. Shock, fucking horror. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so
Right,
this is the
right,
thing.
right, right in. Would you reckon if amongst doing this, would you recommend doing the carnivore diet?
Would you recommend doing the carnivore diet alongside this? Carnivore diet is an extreme version of a low carb diet, which has gained popularity in some circles, especially for weight loss. Potential benefits of the carnivore diet: simple to follow, high protein, carbohydrate restriction promotes fat loss. Potential drawbacks: nutrient imbalance, sustainability, digestive issues, potential cardiovascular risks, and impact on kidney function. Alternatives to consider: keto or a balanced whole food diet. Conclusion: while the carnivore diet can aid in weight loss due to its restrictive nature and high protein content, it may not be necessary or the best option for everyone. If you want to pursue it, I'd recommend trying it for a limited time to see how your body responds. It's just like,
Very,
do you know,
very
like
politically correct.
this is what I mean is like no, I don't think AI is going to help massively because people don't believe that because they think they've tried that. That's the reality of it. So there you go. Um,
Also, it don't worry, one-to-one PTs, you're safe from AI.
yeah.
Like it cannot coach. It will never be it. I don't believe it in terms of a computer system, unless you get a robot who can understand empathy and like
The
it can
reason I don't
probably
believe it is
understand
the reason I don't
mechanics and stuff.
believe it. The reason I don't believe it is because you can manipulate it with the questions you ask.
Hmm.
So you can make it say what you want it to say. So it doesn't. It's not the. Whereas if you, no matter how many times you ask me, I'm going to go, no, carnivore's a fucking stupid diet. Okay, but I really want to do carnivore. Can you please tell me it's a good diet to do? And I hear you. If you're really keen on carnivore, let's break it down. Here's how you can do it. Here's how it can work. Potential benefits. And it goes through all the potential benefits. And again, list some of the drawbacks again. And it's just like, I just don't believe it's going to be able to do what you want it to do in any way, shape, or form.
Hmm. Right, next
And
thing.
tell me to do it. I just love it. I love the fact you can test it almost. You've got the motivation, so now it's time to take action. You've got this. Let me know how it goes if you need help along the way. I need help. I can't poo. It's just like, I hear you. There's situations like constipation can be a real struggle, especially when you're on a restrictive diet like carnivore. Here's ways to help. Stay hydrated and increase your fat intake. Oh, it's just like it just fucking makes me laugh, man. It's just like you can get whatever you want out of it. So that's why I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Anyway, gamified fitness gets better. I think that links a bit more into the competition stuff. Like, I don't think you can gamify.
Yeah.
I don't think you can gamify one person fitness on their own. I just don't think it works.
I think that is the same as the wearables as well,
Mm,
because that's exactly what Strava is. Stuff like that. It's just like, all right, we're gamifying slightly. And like the stuff
yeah,
like the Whoop, right? Um,
you'll like
yeah.
one of these, Tom. The next one.
All right, because gamify fitness, meh, is
Yeah, no, I
power
just don't
shift,
think power shifts. No
no
doubt. We all
doubt.
want to feel as young as we can for as long as we can. One way to do that is to train movements we frequented as children, sprinting, jumping, and hopping. As hybrid training becomes more popular, power movements become more prominent. Traditional bodybuilder types who incorporate Olympic style lifts training like an athlete has become a marketing ploy for many group fitness joints. Plus, low rep ranges 1 to 5 reps, typically associated with training power, can still help you build muscle. Win-win if you ask us. Tom predicted that years ago. Did it yesterday. Way ahead of the game.
So
I
ahead of
think
the
that's true
game,
though.
it didn't work.
Mm. I think it's true though. I see a lot more people now doing that stuff in the gym. A
Yeah,
lot more people jumping around, moving around differently. See a lot talked about a lot more. From some people who don't know what they're talking about, admittedly. But it is definitely more of
I think
of
it's
a thing that I think will explode.
I think it's become more prevalent. Obviously, we're in like echo chambers of what we look at most or who we talk to most. So, a certain thing. I think people are a little bit more inquisitive about it as well. Perhaps there's like a generation that's like, oh, actually, why is
I
that?
think people are
Why are
also
you doing that?
now. I think people are also now a lot more open to the idea of trying things, like
Yeah,
and for extended periods of time as well. Like I don't think they're as blinded just by he's a bodybuilder, he's in shape, I'll copy him. I think people look at it and go, I don't want to be a bodybuilder, I don't look like that. I don't look
yeah.
like that. What? And then they look at athletes. Like we've said this before. We look at athletes, look at the shape they're in, and go, well, they sprint and hop and jump and don't lift bodybuilder weights. And most people want to look like a footballer or an athlete versus a bodybuilder. So I think that's something that you'll start to see.
I don't like the article after it where it says related story. This plyometric workout will burn body fat all day. What? What? No, probably not. But yeah, the goal of plyometrics is obviously not about contact time with the floor and like
Yeah.
spring elasticity of
Mm.
tendons. It's to burn belly fat all day.
Well, they
Fucking
got some magazines, mate. Come on. You know.
it's just moronic, the stupidest title.
Yeah, it is.
All right, next one is Race Fuel gets a new look. Marty Munson. We haven't played the game. Marty Munson's a good name as well. I like that one. But isn't it, if I it's not a good name, is it though?
No.
Munson. Isn't no.
Tweaking your nutrition in the hopes of gaining extra seconds is a firm trend in sports. The nutrients keep changing. Right now, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda is having a day. There's
Sorry,
some research
I'm
that it
thinking
can
of
help increase
Manson.
performance. They're now saying ketones can is another category to watch. Pros say they use them to sustain their energy, maybe even recover better. Science isn't sure. Yeah, I mean, look, supplements are always going to be something that people fucking go on about because they think that it's going to save the day.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well,
Um,
I had one of my best friends, so yeah, one of my best mates boyfriends asked me because he was like, "Oh, I'm getting a health and fitness kick." Bear in mind, this guy's from going from the literal couch to cut 5K. That'd be
yeah.
awesome for him to do, right? Literally, he's just been sitting on his ass, does not move, barely walks his dog, and he was like, "Oh, Tom, so I've been loading creatine." And like, this is what my PT friends told me to do. And I bought all this kind of stuff, a pre-workout, and then I've bought some protein. And I was just like, John, you've been to the gym once in a year, mate. Or like, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I bought a Peloton. I'm like, just do it then. Do it for 2 months and then think about this stuff. At least.
literally.
I was like, just yeah, stop looking for this. Like, you don't have to do everything all at once because that means as soon as you forget to do one thing, you're gonna fall off that wagon. It's like, all right, let's just work on habit control. He didn't want to hear it, of course. It.
No, of
Uh,
course you don't want to hear it. No, why would you?
why would you have just? And I'm like constantly to my guys, I'm like, look, this is the bare minimum of what I want you to do, and we'll get there. But you'll get there more slowly. If you do the rest of it, you'll get there quicker.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Right. But you'll still get there. But you'll just be paying me for a longer time. I was thinking of Charles Manson. Charles Manson is who I was thinking, not
What's
Marty
he about?
Munson. So yeah. Marty Munson sounds like a Simpsons character.
Yeah,
Yeah, interesting.
that is very strange. Yeah. I
Uh,
don't know who you were thinking of. Like I say, Marty's from, isn't it
Mar
like Back to the
Mar
Future?
Marty McFly, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there's you just mixed a few names in there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How interesting. I've also just
Yeah.
clicked on the 20 there's on the bottom of the article it says related story, Men's Health Sports Nutrition Awards.
You shouldn't have clicked on that.
Best ready to we should have gone here. Best ready to drink. Grounded milkshake, 12 cartons. Um this
Hmm.
looks quite good. Best creatine or best protein bar, grenade, Oreo. Best plant-based bar, Bear Bells, vegan. Best
Mm.
electrolyte, the ones I have. Yeah, they are the best ones. Correct. Um, the high five zeros, they are the best ones because they're not best in terms of like sodium content, but they are the best tasting. Best greens powder. Dan doesn't shut up about his green powder.
That's not
Shreddy
even a
super
thing, is
greens.
it? So,
Shreddy super greens. Athletic greens, isn't it? That's the one. Uh, best protein snack. The Protein Ball Company. Spotlight off. Copy.
God, they don't have fucking promote some shit, do they?
Tenzing, My Protein pre-workout gummies, vitamin D oral spray, C4, spotlight on best BCAAs. Excellent. Oh.
Mm.
Best energy chew gel pre-workout. Yeah, lovely,
That's what
lovely,
I mean. Is
Dan.
like they've got a whole awards thing on that. Like, that just shows you what this that sort of thing is. What people fucking
Yeah,
go
people
for.
people want, right? Instead of work consistently hard for the next year,
No one wants to hear
training
that.
3, 4 times a week, and I reckon you'll get there. You will get there. I've worked out twice already this week. New me.
I
Uh,
haven't yet.
actually, new me. I worked out more than I've ever done in my life. I think last year because all the fucking triathlon crap. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a mistake,
interesting.
wasn't it? Doing
It was
that.
it's a mistake that I've got to redo. So I don't think I will have the time this year with all the other shit that's happening, but we'll try. So
I think you got it
um,
now. You commit to it. You
I've
bought all the
I've
shit.
I've
So
got well, my perspective is if I do it, then I'll be looking leaner for probably the dates in that
sure.
kind of time. So I'll look decent. So, but
Yeah.
I'm also like, so I'm gonna start dieting. I started dieting yesterday because everything good happens on Mondays. Um,
Of
and that was
course.
the true January 1st, when it like January 6th. It felt
Yeah.
like a long period from the 1st of Jan, didn't it? Like 6th. It's
Yeah.
like it's really quite a
It's a
long way
long. It
away.
is a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh fuck, like we're not starting till then. All right, mate. Any other business?
Not from me. No.
No, not from me. Not from me. I think we're all good. Glad to
We
be
are.
back in the swing of things. There shouldn't be a break in broadcasting that I know of. I'm not away
I'm not.
for a while. So, yeah, we're all good. Lovely. Lovely. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.